Go for it.
Ooh, okay. And it's so funny because I realized that a lot of times I can't remember exactly what I was thinking, but I know that it was well, I actually do know. It was like it was the sense of I was rejecting myself. I was constantly rejecting myself of being and allowing myself to be loved, to be myself. It is, and it's so funny because I thought that because I am loved, that because I give so much love, and it's so beautiful how my story always aligned with it. I felt like I was always constantly getting pushed back, pushed back, pushed back. It
Mm.
was not being received. I remember we had this conversation
Yes, we
before. It
do. You
was not
speaking.
being received,
You
or I thought,
speaking.
or I assumed it was not being received the way that I thought that I needed to be loved, to love myself. If someone was like, "Whoa, yes, yes, you're amazing. I love you. Thank you for being yourself." Oh, I get to love myself more. But if it was not something where it was just like that woo or applaud or anything,
The
do I love
validation.
myself?
The validation.
Validation,
Yes.
validation, and needing to prove. I was just like, am I lovable? Is this part of myself lovable? And I became quiet, quiet,
Mm.
silent. It was just like it was in a sense like I was never in those crossroads. It's like be, speak, or also at the same time quiet and shrink. And I realized I was shrinking myself
Yeah.
every single time I wanted to communicate, especially when it came to something really, really true to my heart and deep. Not even saying deep, we're all deep.
Yes.
We're all deep. It's like we're infinite things of deep. And it's like it was the sense of where it's like I didn't want to be rejected or alone of me communicating. And that's when I felt that I couldn't what is it called? That I couldn't feel not saying I couldn't, but I placed that limitation on myself to
Mm-hmm.
say that that's how I was just like I would not be loved or not be
That's how you
truly
learn to cope.
welcome.
Yeah, that's how you
Mm,
learn to cope.
truly welcome for them. Yep, it was like truly welcome for that. And the way that I cultivated this is to was just truly hmm, wow.
Take your time. I get it. I get
I
it.
know, I know. It's like it's so funny when you think you have an answer for something, and then you actually sit with it, and you actually. Well, I already had one, but when you when you actually in the moment, you're just like, huh, wait, it
I know
was.
what you mean.
I know. It's just like I think no, not saying I think I know, but how I cultivate it, how I am cultivating it, is to allow myself to love, to allow myself to just be everything that I thought someone didn't need.
Mm,
Because I thought that my love was something that they didn't need. But
mm.
because of I am so much of love, that's exactly what the world needs. And that's what I had to be was myself all along. And book closed. Travis now in the rainbows.
That part. So what I also hear you saying too, and this is beautiful, is you learn the value of what's that saying? To be perfectly imperfect and to thrive in that. Like in other words, you acknowledge, you can correct me if I'm wrong,
No,
acknowledge the bad or what society or whoever you're trying to be vulnerable with would consider bad. You're acknowledging, are you still with me?
oh yes.
Oh, okay. Something just popped up on my screen. So I was like,
It
oh no.
was just like,
I was
oh
like,
no. Haven't
okay,
I
we back.
acknowledged
We back.
the
Yeah, we ain't editing none of this. This is about to get the
This
full
is like,
throttle.
keep it,
So,
oh.
so you have learned to acknowledge all aspects of you, whatever the world would consider bad or annoying or whatever the label is, you acknowledge all parts of you and you express it freely through love, whether
Yeah.
people accept it or not. That's what I'm hearing. That's beautiful. That's hard. That's a hard concept.
And it's so funny because my mind, I feel like I'm like a master of mental things.
Yes,
Where it's just
yes,
like,
you are.
I feel like the Doctor Strange of consciousness.
I'm
And it's
with
like,
you.
because it is so funny because, and I'm so glad that I chose to be equipped in that way for this lifetime. And
Hmm.
it's really, really funny because I always, with perfect, the idea of perfection, And it was so funny. It was always this pink truck or pink car that was called Imperfect Foods that used to ride through my window constantly, back and forth. Every single time
Mm.
I tried to or perceived myself as working too hard to be perfect. And I realized that we're always perfect, but the delusion of us being imperfect is I think even is still perfection because
Ooh.
it's like because perfection and imperfection is a human made concept. It's a rationalization of what we think based off communities or society's ideals of what was perfected or what was seen as what is it
Acceptable.
acceptable over time. And when you just like what is it go away from like go like this and just let everything fall off of you, you
Ooh.
realize like, hey, I am perfect, and I do not have to justify or I do not have to feel validated or I feel like I need to look outward to know of my perfection because imperfection is a learned thing. It is
Hmm.
not part of who I am. It is like, and I just feel so good. Okay, I'm so ready for the next question. I am really,
That just got me emotional because you completely have changed my whole perspective on that. Thank you.
yeah.
That you are right. That goes back to what we always say. There's no limitations. The limitations of what we have
Mm,
accepted from other people
yeah,
or ourselves or bad experiences. Oh my God.
yeah.
Okay, next question.
Woo!
Next question. Next question. We definitely gonna have to get back together later on because
Yeah.
so how did finding this freedom slash love, I know I wrote one way, but I want to say
Yeah,
positively
say it your way.
affect your mental health for traveling?
Mm. Mm.
Dive in it, reflects it with it.
Dive in it, thinking in my
Mhm.
tongue tongue. Wait, Andrew, give it to me one more time. Give it
Of
to me one more
course.
time, my mama.
How did finding freedom and love, let's add both, freedom and
Mm.
love positively affect your mental health?
Mm. Mm. I stopped worrying. I
Ooh.
stopped worrying. I feel like because I worried so much if I was loved or was able to be loved or fear of not being loved by life to know that everything in my life will work out beautifully. And I just stopped caring so much. And that allowing myself to just to know, just to be it's like it's again like a kid. It's just to know that when you go to sleep, if you have those experiences as a child, because there's so many different varied experiences, and knowing that everything is all right. You leave yesterday as yesterday, you create
Yeah.
today as today,
Yeah.
and you feel blessed. You feel blessed. And I think that and I realize I have more emptiness in my mind.
Wow.
Emptiness. There is not so much, I can track my thoughts. I can
Hmm.
pinpoint where it started. Because sometimes when you have a thought, it goes, you don't know where it began and where it ended. It just became like a crammed up thing of the circus. It feels like psychosis in some way. Like sometimes, like you're going insane. It's like, where the fuck did this start? Where did this come from? Who am I? And it's like, and I realized I was just like, and I'm so happy that it became so empty. I I I know that it's more bliss and it's peaceful, and I don't wait. Run back that question because I know it's one part that I'm
Of
missing that I really
course.
wanted to hit.
How did finding freedom and love positively affect your mental health?
Mm. Oh, okay. Because I know I hit that. It was freedom, but it was the love part, and it was the mental health. It was
Take
mm,
your time. Take your time.
mm, mm, wow. I think it also allowed me to give love better. Give love
Hmm.
better.
There you
It's
go.
because don't you know sometimes when you're stuck in fear, it feels like you can't move.
Yes.
It
Anxiety and
gets
depression. Hmm.
that was exactly it. And guess what? It's so funny. That's exactly what I felt with my mental state. I could not move freely because
Hmm.
I was so stuck in my head. the natural way I moved and gracefully with fluidity was still there, but it wasn't me. It was like I was on autopilot. I remember I remember sometimes I was so stuck in my head. I used when I was about to open up my door, I was so stuck in my head. I was literally just standing in front of my door for like seconds, minutes, just thinking. And I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't even open up my door yet. I was
Mm,
so focused on fear, so focused on worry, so focused on not just everything of just not doing something wrong. That was a big thing for me. Doing something wrong, misstepping in my own perfection, and
yeah.
I felt, and the beauty of that is, and it's almost very sad because it's like you thought that you could do something wrong, and you're beautiful and perfect, and I know, and it's just, it's like
Keep going.
why,
This
and
is
it's just
good.
like why did you ever think that you could do anything wrong?
And that goes
Anything
to inner
wrong.
child. That goes to inner
Yeah.
child, validating her.
Why did you think that? Oh, about the car. Why
No,
did
it's
you
okay.
think?
I'm releasing too. This we obviously
I
need.
know. I had to allow myself to. It's like, go ahead, when I go, I go. I won't get words out of it. They will just be, and it was like, and why did you think that it's like you couldn't move? You were just paralyzed
Hmm.
in your own mistrust or distrust in self. And it is, and it just, when you think of that, all you want to do is give yourself a hug and
Yes.
give yourself
I
a,
was
and
just going to comment that. Yes.
just give yourself a hug. It's just like, baby, that's a girl, that's a boy, baby big. You are loved. You are safe. Don't 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 trick yourself. Don't think that you cannot be in this world and feel like you're
A
just
mess up.
messed up, mistake,
Hmm.
a mistake, a mistake, and not even the big word of mistake is that the thing that you're going to be a mistake, because I think that's what it is. It's not that you feel like that now, you're projecting what that's going to feel like.
Back you're manifesting it essentially.
And the thing is,
Hmm.
and it's not even the truest manifestation. It is
Correct.
the noise. It's the thing that's going across. It's like the news. And it's like, or like a broadcast. You see
I like
something.
that.
It's the words going across, but the bigger
Yeah.
picture's still talking, but you're still focused on that bullshit that's going across that really doesn't
That's
make any
so
sense.
good. That's so good. Yes.
It
Keep
is,
it
it
going.
is just going across the things. It's like it's not even needed. And I want to still focus on what's really there, the bigger picture. What is really? It's you. It's you that's the bigger picture. Step back from what you're hyper focusing on.
Hmm.
Breathe. Realize that you are not your thoughts.
Mm.
You are not your thoughts. When you stop, I realize this. When you stop thinking, and you go like this, and you just like, oh wait, I'm moving. I'm a body, and these thoughts are just no noise, you realize that, oh my God, I really am not the story I'm telling myself.
Mm.
I am more than that. I am more than that. And I feel that sometimes we just live in our head that we think that we are it, that it's expressed in every single way in our lives. And I feel like it's not truly always expressed always in our lives until we truly feel like we are identifying. We're
Hmm.
identifying with our thoughts. We think that those are true. We believe in those.
Believe him as
And
fact.
as a believer, as fact. And it's exactly when they're not.
Yes.
Those are illusions. Those are illusions created
And
and made by you.
and that is the beautiful thing about affirmations, of reframing that narrative as soon as that thought hits. Wait a minute, this isn't mine. I
Mm,
am this. I am positive.
mm,
I am light.
mm,
You always said, I
mm.
choose to agree with this affirmation. I don't choose. I'm acknowledging this thought. I'm feeling
Yes,
it. I
yes.
acknowledge this ain't mine. I don't accept it. Adapt to what you need to, reject anything that does not abide to you.
Do you
So,
know? Guess what? The conflict, like what is it? The couple. I think it was like three, but it's a bunch of affirmations I say for myself. Because I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. Just like I am confident. I
I'm
am just
joy.
I
Hmm.
am joy, and I the more creative I get with it, because sometimes our minds like to psych it out. We,
Yes, that's
we,
true.
we like, it's kind of like if we hear it too much,
We're
we
like, no.
take it as background, no,
Yep.
background noise.
Nope,
I
nope,
like to
nope,
be
nope.
creative. I like to go get specific to a particular situation, to a
Mm,
particular thought pattern. I'd like to mold it into something that is nurturing for that part of my life,
mm,
for that lie that I'm telling myself, for that
ooh.
story. It's like to soothe the child that is screaming at night, something specific from that nightmare, from like that storybook you just read. It's like to bring it to a more peaceful resolution and ending. And like, let me say an affirmation for myself right now. Ooh, let's think about one. Um,
I was just about to
I
say, give me an
am.
example.
I don't get it. Says it's like let's say one right now because it's the only one that's relevant. Um, I am precious
Ooh.
and just being alive, exerted into confidence and creation. I am. I am whole. I
Mm.
am.
That word. I love that
You
word. I am
know.
whole.
I love it like a big pie. I am. mm,
I am free to speak.
I am free to speak. I am free to speak. Oh, I love that. I love that. I
I'm
am
free
free
to
to speak.
speak. It just came to my
I
mind because I felt you.
I'm free to speak. I'm free to speak. I'm free to speak. I'm free to speak. I'm free to see the all-encompassing bigger picture of my
Mm,
life, and knowing that I will love to enjoy these moments and relish them as much as I can, and to be present with them. Because I know when I look back, I'm going to smile, and that's the only thing I'm going to do is smile, and I won't regret it. I will not regret anything. I'm just gonna smile. That's that's all I'm gonna do. That is my affirmation. So I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here.
I also have one that came to mind as you're speaking. You are a breath of fresh air. You are a breath of
Oh,
fresh
I'm a
air.
breath of
Because
fresh
that's,
air.
we know, I always talk about your voice. I always talk about your voice and
Oh.
it being a piece. And that's literally, I guess it's an affirmation for me too, but more like that's what I felt. You are a breath of fresh air and it's felt. It's felt.
Oh my God. You're not the only being. I hear that so many times. I hear
You
that
are.
so it just and it's so many times I hear that my voice is calming and comforting and
Mm-hmm.
soothing. And it's I feel that because it comes it's kind of like an air conditioner, right? If the inside of it is dusty and faulty, whatever comes out is going to be dusty and exactly that.
Ooh.
And it's like, but if that is truly cleaned out, fixed through inward to outward, whatever comes out is going to be crisp. It's going to be clear. It's going to make you feel so good and relaxed and soothed. And I feel because I constantly, I mean constantly. I mean
Constantly.
constantly. I mean, like I think that's my only reason for living, of course, other than living, is just that I allow myself to just to know that it's the I
Let
feel
me
like I'm
bounce
just
with you.
bouncing just
Let me
like
bounce
I'm
with
just
you.
like
I
just
got
bouncing. And it's like just it's like just know that I'm safe, that
you.
I'm
Yes.
safe, that I'm safe, that I'm safe, that I'm safe, that I'm safe. And realizing that I'm safe, I can create safety for others because my mask is taken off. They
Mhm.
know that they can take off their mask. And that's a quote from Rumi. It's like that's a
I felt that every fiber of that. Yes. So
Mhm.
that being said, Travis, into the world right now. So we are going to be coming back with honestly a part 3 and 4 because
Yes.
unfortunately I have to deal with something. Well, not unfortunately, but right now I just have to deal with some things. It's almost 12 o'clock and they're actually texting
Yeah.
my phone. So I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna log off of this. I'm gonna text you. Y'all
Yes.
hold on tight because he has more coming. I told you this is gonna
I'm
be
so
a gem.
ready. I'm feeling things I have not felt in a while.
Yeah, same, same. But this
I'm
is
ready.
good.
Mm.
So y'all, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back. Travis, once again, I will text you as soon as I exit out of this. Let life be life, but that's okay. We're safe,
Yes.
we're
Mm.
validated, and all
Mm.
good things are coming towards us, period, including some more gems from
Period.
Travis Chapman. Can you hear me? You
Can
heard.
you hear me? Can you hear?
All right, my loves, I'm logging off and we will come back to you soon.
Yes.